Hello, Kurt Rogers, President of Affordable Interest Mortgage, and I want to talk to you about how the Asset Manager works. First thing I want to cover is the little history of the product. The loan was created by a bank called Macquarie in 1965 out of Australia. What happened, to give you some of that history, what happened was there were a lot of people moving into Australia, hadn't been there very long, wanted to purchase a home. Macquarie was trying to figure out a way to make the loan work, so what they came up with, they said, let's open a checking account, we'll give you a mortgage, and we'll tie the two of those together. Well, banks they loan money because of risk. Well, what they found out with the folks that were doing this loan is that they were paying off the home twice as fast as anybody else, and they had no late payments. All their clients were being able to make their payments on time. So what they did was they opened that loan up to all their clients. And what they found out was that 35% of all the mortgages that they do today is this mortgage. 25% of all the mortgages they do in Europe is this. One of the reasons for that is in the United States, we are the only country that does 30-year fixes, or 25s or 20s. The rest of the world does loans completely different than we do, and I'm going to show you why here in a minute. So let's look at what you currently have. Most people have a checking account and a mortgage if you own a home. So let's compare the two. When you have a checking account, you deposit your money into that checking account. Now what happens to it? You send this out for a car payment, this out for credit card payment, this is for schools, this is for gas, and you're constantly sending money out, but a portion of that will come over here and pay off this loan. Okay? So let's say this loan's $250,000. When you send it in, you're going to make a small portion of it's going to be principal, and it's going to work like this. This is all interest, and you're going to pay 70% of it in the first 7 years. Most of the interest you pay is in the front. The reason for that is this is compound interest, which means they re-advertise the loan every month. So after you've made your payment, they'll drop the principal down a little bit and re-amortize it for 29 years and 11 months. That's why you pay 70% of the interest you pay is normally in the first 7 to 8 years. What this loan does is they attach the checking account to the mortgage. So when you deposit the money, it goes right here. We're going to take the same $250,000 loan, but if you deposit $5,000, it's all going to come over here, and your payoff's going to go down to $245,000. And this loan is simple interest, and that becomes real important. When you have simple interest, it's on the average daily balance is how they calculate the payment and the interest. So let's say you put in, and you're down to $245,000. You make your payments for all of these things that you do, and now your payoff comes up to $249,000. The rest of the money is sitting in your checking account, but over here it's sitting in the mortgage. Because of that, your average daily balance between the two of these might be $247,000. At $247,000, your payment's going to be lower. So instead of maybe being $1,200 a month, it might be $1,190 a month. Not a lot, saves a little, but it's the first month. What this loan actually does is, whatever the rate is on this loan, let's say your rate on this loan is 4.5%, they actually pay you 4.5% all the money you put in the account. For every day it sits here, they're paying you that kind of money on that. And because of that, they're driving your principal down. As your principal goes down, so does the amount of profit you pay the bank. And so does your interest rate. Because profit to the bank determines rate. Rate doesn't determine profit. Strictly on a compound interest, you're going to pay a whole lot more interest. Over in the simple interest, you're not going to do this. So what you find out is you learn that you're going to pay this home off considerably faster. If you remember back in school, this might save you $10 a month the first month. But back in school, we had this old thing to where if somebody gave you a penny and you doubled it every day, by the time you got 30 days down the road, you're into the millions. This works the same way. First month might save you 10, then 12, then 15, and it just keeps going. You're not changing your spending habits. You're still depositing the same amount of money into your checking account and still paying your bills the same way, but your lazy money is now going to work. In this account, any money you leave in your checking account, let's say you have $1,000 or $2,000, is there a rate of return you're getting on that? Most cases, no. But over here, it's paying you. And because it's going to work, it's paying your payoff. And you're lowering your payoff quicker. That's one of the advantages to the loan. Why would a bank do this? Over here, they're going to make a whole lot more money. That's one of the questions I get. Here, they're going to make less money. Well, let's look at the reasons for that. A bank loans money because of risk. The less risk they have, the more money they loan at a lower rate. So let's look at the risk in a normal mortgage. The first risk is if you owe $200,000 on a $250,000 value of a home, the risk is with the bank. Why? Because if you don't make those payments, they're going to foreclose. And the average cost of a foreclosure in today's market is between $75,000 and $80,000. So their goal is to get it to pay off, get you to pay it down quicker. If you owe $100,000, the risk is now yours. Because if you don't pay it off, they're going to take it back and you're going to lose your home. The other thing is late payments and fees. If you don't make your mortgage payment on time, the bank's going to come in and charge you. They got people that are sending you notes, making phone calls, chasing you to make your payment on time when you have little problems in life. Well, remember what I said about Macquarie? They were learning that people were paying off their home twice as fast and they had no late fees. So that right now in the Macquarie loan, the asset manager, there's no fees. You're not late. I'll give you a little statistic. Since 1999, when this loan hit the United States, there's been one foreclosure since 99 till now. With a conventional loan in 2008, there were 13 million. Why? Because people were able to make this work for them. The third reason why banks like this loan is if you give a bank $10,000, how much of that can they loan out? Most people will say 100% of it. Here's the fun part. On paper, they can loan out 8 times. So they're going to loan out $80,000. Now, what's their rate of return on that $80,000? When they're doing a car loan or a credit card loan, or they're doing home improvement loans, or an RV loan, or mortgage loans, what are they making? When you add them all up, the average is 21% on this. On this loan over here, you're paying 4.5%, but they're paying it back to you. And because of that, they don't care that you're doing this because they have no risk and they're making money on the loan. That's why this loan works so well. Let me explain some of the other benefits of this loan. The advantage of being able to pay off the loan faster when the speed bumps of life come up. I had a neighbor in 2008, could have been one of those folks that went into foreclosure. She lost her job for 18 months. So half the income coming into the house went away. Because she had the equity in the home, she was able to tap that equity and be able to make her mortgage payment, her car payment, keep her kid in school, did not affect her credit. Everything stayed the same. Her payoff might have moved up to closer to this, but she didn't lose her home. She didn't foreclose. Now, because she's a neighbor, she would bring me cookies every week or every month. It was a wonderful thing. But after she got her job back, they went right back to doing this and was able to pay the home off faster. So it handles those speed bumps that come up that you never know about, whether they're an injury or an illness or a lost job, because when you lose your job, it's hard to get a loan. And that's when you need the money the most. This loan allows you to do that. It protected her from going into foreclosure. Let's look at another case. I have 3 ladies who have this loan, and they had about this much money, about $50,000. The 3 of them got together, they're all from Texas, they got together and put the money into an account. They opened up a little business and went out and started buying fix and flips. So they bought the first one, they made a little money, paid themselves back, but they learned something through that. And over the next 4 years, by doing fix and flips and using this equity that's in here, they own their house free and clear, all 3 of them. Matter of fact, one of them put their husband to go to work for them. So they still have a line of credit for $250,000, but they own their house, so they have no mortgage payment. We all want to own our house faster. But what happens when those emergencies come up? How do you reach that money? The asset manager not only allows your lazy money to go to work for you, it gives you access to handle speed bumps. Because if you don't have the access, what do you do when you need the money? Put it on a credit card? Take it out of your 401k? Borrow it from family? Or start giving things up? So one of the advantages, this loan is able to accommodate you. This money is accessible in this loan for 30 years. So if you're seriously thinking about wanting to own your home faster, this is a great loan. One other question I might get. What's the downside? Nothing is too good to be true. I hear that a lot. What's the downside on this loan? If you are not financially responsible, this is not your loan. If you see that you got $50,000 in equity and it's sitting in your account and you want to go out and buy a Harley and you weren't planning on buying a Harley, wrong loan. Want to go buy furniture, weren't planning on it? No. You want to pay off your home faster with this loan, but not spend the equity unless it was something you were planning on. Now, I have people that will buy cars with this, but they were planning on buying a car, not something extra just because it's there. So if you're financially disciplined and you're trying to get to the point to where you have more money for your retirement and own your home faster, this is a great loan. Should you have any questions, give us a call at 720-895-0500, and any one of my loan officers will be able to go through and show you how it works for you. Thank you very much for your time.